Hello and a very warm welcome to Science Monitor, your weekly update on what's happening in the field of science, technology and innovation in and around the country. I'm Ashwarya with you. From the establishment of a course network to provide accurate geopositioning infrastructure in the country to the unique security ink developed by Indian scientists to check counterfeit currency, we have plenty in store for you. So let us begin with the headlines. COVID-19 declared a pandemic by World Health Organization. Data shows the disease has spread to at least 114 countries. Survey of India to establish a nationwide network of continuously operating reference system. New technology to revolutionize surveying and mapping across India. New security ink developed by the Indian scientists to stop the production of fake currency. Unclonable ink by National Physical Laboratory can also have many other applications. And in Science Tour, we will visit Central Building Research Institute of CSIR to know how the institute has contributed in the development of the nation. The novel coronavirus has grabbed headlines since the beginning of this year. And in a short span of 3 to 4 months, the infection has spread to more than 100 countries and new cases are being added every day to the tally. Looking at the quick spread and the severity of COVID-19, the World Health Organization has finally declared it as a pandemic. What is a pandemic and what changes with this announcement? Let us see our report to know more.
The COVID-19 outbreak that emerged from the city of Wuhan in China has now reached 114 countries in the world. The disease has infected more than 1 lakh people, and looking at the seriousness of the situation, the World Health Organization has now declared COVID-19 as a pandemic. Earlier in January, the WHO had declared a global health emergency in view of the spread of the virus. The organization has expressed its concern about the alarming levels of spread and severity.
We have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic. Pandemic is not a word to use lightly or carelessly. It's a word that, if misused, can cause unreasonable fear or unjustified acceptance that the fight is over, leading to unnecessary suffering and death. We have never before seen a pandemic sparked by a coronavirus. This is the first pandemic caused by a coronavirus. And we have never before seen a pandemic that can be controlled at the same time. WHO has been in full response mode since we were notified of the first cases. And we have called every day for countries to take urgent and aggressive action.
The number of corona patients have also increased in India in the past few days. In view of this, the Government of India has suspended all tourist visas until April 15th. At the same time, people entering the country via road borders must also undergo screening at designated checkpoints. A meeting chaired by the Union Health Minister, Dr. Harshvardhan, outlined various measures to contain and prevent the spread of the disease. The government has also advised Indian citizens against non-essential foreign travel. India has also announced to quarantine all travellers arriving from 7 virus-hit countries. The countries include China, Italy, Iran, South Korea, France, Spain and Germany.
जिनकी उम्र ज़्यादा है या जिनको कोमॉर्बिडिटीज़ हैं, डायबिटीज़ है, हाइपरटेंशन है, हार्ट की डिजीज़ है, फेफड़े की बीमारी है, उनमें ज़्यादा सीवियर डिजीज़ होने की चांसेस है. अगर हम कोरोना वायरस के केसेस देखें तो मोर देन 80% हैव माइल्ड इलनेस. आम माइल्ड बीमारी होती है, जुकाम, नज़ला, बुखार हुआ, आम ट्रीटमेंट लेने से वो ठीक हो जाते हैं, उनको कोई घबराने की बात नहीं है। और 20% जो है उनको ही निमोनिया होता है जिसमें हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन की ज़रूरत पड़ सकती है, और उन्हें 5% ही ऐसे हैं उन 20% में जिनको आईसीयू की ज़रूरत पड़ती है और जिनको बहुत सीवियर इन्फेक्शन होता है जिसमें मोर्टेलिटी हो सकती है।
According to the WHO definition, a pandemic is an outbreak of a new pathogen that spreads easily from person to person across the globe. So, a disease must be communicable and should be present in many parts of the world at the same time to be declared a pandemic. Prior to COVID-19, swine flu or H1N1 was declared as a pandemic by WHO in 2009.
India is constantly using novel technologies to realize its goal of becoming a developed nation. In this series, the Survey of India has established a new system for the collection and use of land position data. The system that was released on the occasion of National Science Day will have many advantages over the current technologies being used for the same purposes. Let us see the report to know more about this technology.
Global Navigation Satellite System, or GNSS technology, is being used to determine the location and position of any entity on the Earth by taking into account different geospatial references. For this, geopositioning systems are installed at different locations and manual data is collected at regular intervals. This data is brought to the stations and processed, and the results are extracted. To make this technology more efficient and accurate, the Survey of India has now launched the Continuous Operating Reference System, or the CORS network. The system was inaugurated on the occasion of National Science Day.
This is the latest technological advancement which we have brought in India. Conventionally, we used to use GPS and to find one's own position and to extend control. Earlier, we used to deploy 6 people with 3 GPS, but now with this establishment of the CORS network, one can get in 1 minute by deploying only one person. So you can imagine the kind of time saving and cost saving.
The CORS network is a geopositioning infrastructure that would provide more accurate and real-time data for the purpose of survey. CORS Control Network Station is an important part of this positioning infrastructure. Network solution software is deployed in the control center, which makes use of all the CORS station data. CORS network facilitates network real-time kinematic technique for providing ground control points, which not only improves the speed, the efficiency and simplicity of in-house data acquisition process, but also acts as a driver for reliable data collection from authorized crowd sources. CORS network has wide applications in the development of the country. It will help in the generation and updation of revenue maps and also in efficient construction of large infrastructure projects such as road networks, railway projects, canal systems, irrigation projects and surveys of smart cities.
Like you have a pillars of the building, if the pillars are strong, then the inside building is also strong. So similarly, the CORS network will provide a good, accurate and reliable reference framework on which all the mapping within the country will be done, which is useful for any development project or security related issues. You name anything and the position is important.
Initially, 200 CORS networks are being set up in Maharashtra, Karnataka and Uttar Pradesh, and by the end of this year, Survey of India hopes to cover maximum parts of the country. The system will also augment with Navik network, along with the other global navigation satellite systems. Overall, the CORS network will be another step to make India self-reliant.
It's time for a short break. Stay tuned as we'll be back soon with more reports. Welcome back. You're watching Science Monitor. And now let's have a quick look at some other activities and developments happening in the field of science and technology through our segment Science Express.
Mars 2020 rover of NASA has been named Perseverance officially. The name was suggested by a 7th grade student, Alexander Mather of America, and was found to be perfect as it aptly represents the quality that is needed to pursue the space missions. Name the Rover essay contest was launched by NASA in August 2019, and NASA received 28,000 entries for the same. As the winner of this contest, Alexander will be associated forever with this mission and will also be invited to witness the launch that is scheduled to happen this year. NASA's Perseverance rover is designed to carry out advanced explorations on Mars. According to a new study published in Nature Geoscience, Earth and the Moon have distinct oxygen compositions and therefore they are not identical in oxygen as thought previously. The giant impact theory believes that a giant rocky body called Theia collided with the Earth in its pre-formative years and the Moon originated out of this collision. But scientists never found an evidence for the existence of Theia, as earlier studies referred to the presence of similar isotopes on the Earth and the Moon. However, according to the new study, lunar samples of different origins showed different oxygen isotopic composition, and the rock samples from deep within the lunar mantle were quite different. Scientists assume that these isotopes are an evidence of Theia and it might be present inside the Moon. NASA, European Space Agency and South Korea have jointly designed a satellite-mounted instrument system for tracking air pollution from space, and the system will be launched soon. According to the NASA, the project will monitor air quality of the Earth every hour. The system will establish a virtual network once it is deployed in the lower orbit of the Earth. And through this network, air quality in every region of the world will be monitored. The data derived from this project will be used to make air quality predictions, and the system will also reveal source of the pollution. The number of dolphins in the Indian Ocean has decreased by 90% since 1980. This information was revealed in a study done by James Cook University of Australia. According to the researchers, huge gill nets used to catch tuna fish are responsible for this. Gill net forms a wall of nets and are planted at a depth of 5 to 20 meters. Small fish escape from it, but along with tuna, species such as shark, turtles, whale, and dolphins get trapped in it and die. For the study, researchers analyzed data from 10 different expeditions conducted in India, Pakistan, Australia, and Sri Lanka between 1981 and 2016.
Soon, the people of India will not have to worry about the fake notes or documents, as Indian scientists have come up with an innovative solution to tackle this problem. The scientists at CSIR NPL have developed an unclonable ink that can be used to give a unique mark to legal tenders. Having completed all the tests, this application can soon be used in important documents like stamp papers, passports, and currency notes. To know more about this interesting development, let us see our special report.
Currency notes form the backbone of our economy. But presence of counterfeit currency among them has a negative impact not only on our economy but also on our reputation. To solve this problem, New Delhi-based CSIR, National Physical Laboratory, has come up with an indigenous solution. Scientists working here have developed a unique ink which makes copying of security features in currency notes and other legal documents impossible.
हर एक कंट्री अपने करेंसी नोट में यूनिक फीचर लगाती है। तो जो हमारी जो डिस्कवरी है जिसमें यूएस पेटेंट एनपीएल का है, उसमें क्या है कि हम उस करेंसी को ऑप्टिकल लाइट पे, जो विजिबल लाइट है 400 से रफली 800 नैनोमीटर तक, उस पे वो इनविजिबल रहती है, ट्रांसपेरेंट रहती है, एक फ्रीक्वेंसी पे वो एक रंग देगी और दूसरी फ्रीक्वेंसी पे दूसरा कलर देगी।
India imports the pigments to make the ink that is being currently used for security printing. But these pigments can also be procured by the others, and there is a possibility of their misuse. So the NPL scientists collaborated with the Academy of Scientific and Innovative Research, Ghaziabad, and formulated a bioluminescent ink by combining two special pigments. The ink has many unique features and is suitable for the purpose of security printing. The ink is white under normal light conditions but exhibits two colors on the excitation of a single wavelength. The formulation is based on the combination of fluorescence and phosphorescence and has been tested successfully on the currency notes at the laboratory level. When these notes are exposed to UV light at 254 nanometer, the security feature made with the ink looks red, and when the source is switched off, the figure appears green. Same formula has also been used to prepare golden ink for the passports. The special features of this ink will not only reduce the cost of printing passport, but also help in combating forgery of such documents.
जो आपने देखा होगा जो उसका ब्लैक कलर का कवर होता है जो इंडियन पासपोर्ट होता है, मोस्टली उसमें जो बाहर से जो एम्ब्रॉस किया जाता है एम्बलम, वो गोल्ड से ही होता है, सो दैट इज क्वाइट एक्सपेंसिव। लेकिन जो इंक हमने बनाई है, अगर उससे हम इसको प्रिंट करें तो गोल्ड की लुक गोल्ड लगेगी, तो एक तो सस्ती हो जाएगी, दूसरा क्या होगा कि वो दो कलर में दिखेगा, और ये बहुत इजीली जो पासपोर्ट इमिग्रेशन ऑफिसर्स हैं वो बहुत इजीली इसको आइडेंटिफाई कर लेंगे।
The research has been published in the Journal of Materials Chemistry C, and the formula has Indian and US patent. The feasibility of this ink has also been tested for commercial applications, and the security features printed with this ink have been found to be stable under stringent conditions.
It's time again for a break. Stay with us. We'll be back in a while. The scientific institutes of our country have played a significant role in the development of the nation. One such institute is the Central Building Research Institute of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. The institute has world-class laboratories and carries out research and development related to the construction of buildings and their safety. Join us on a science tour to more about this Roorkee-based institute.
Central Building Research Institute, situated in Roorkee, is a constituent establishment of Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. CBRI was founded in the year 1947 and the building was established in the year 1950. Ever since then, this institution is constantly making significant contributions in the area of building material for the development of better structures, earthquake resistance, and fire resistance techniques, and also towards the mitigation of natural calamities like landslides.
Central Building Research Institute, Roorkee, has worked on a large number of hazards that include landslides, earthquakes, cyclones, so on and so forth. In landslides, we have developed control measures. We have developed a warning system. As far as earthquake hazard is concerned, we have worked on a type of building system called as confined masonry.
For the research and technical development, various latest facilities have been established in the institute. One of them is the Fire Research Section, where the impact of fire is studied on various building materials. For this, they have installed huge experimental fire furnaces. The institute also has a fire reaction lab where fire-resistant materials are studied and the building material is developed as per the Indian Building Code.
The material classified into 4 classes. Number 1 is class 1, that is very low flame spread, and that can be used anywhere in the assembly hall or anywhere important places, and that is mentioned in National Building Code of India Part 4, that is fire research. And the material class for it with very rapid flame rate should not be used anywhere in the building.
One important part of structural engineering is the assessment of the health of the structures. For this, arrangements have been made for full-scale model testing. Under this, health of various building structures is tested using the latest techniques. Like right now, scientists are studying the strength of the structure by installing sensors on a building model. Using the same technique, the health of various historical and public structures can also be assessed.
Now there are methods which is called as structural health monitoring of buildings. At CBRI, we have conducted extensive experimental investigation on buildings, and based on which we have successful enough to establish the methodology, and now it is being adopted at field also to address this particular problem.
Central Building Research Institute is also developing techniques to mitigate landslides. For this, surveillance of the landslide site is very important. The received data is studied at the lab, and the scientists try to find out the reasons behind the landslides. The scientists working here are also trying to develop a pre-warning system for the landslides. The institute also has academic programs in the fields of structural engineering and disaster mitigation, which includes MTech and PhD.
And that is all in today's edition of Science Monitor. Do tell us how do you like our program. You can send your feedback and suggestions through email. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write in to us at Vigyan Prasar, 5th floor, Prithvi Bhavan, Lodhi Road, New Delhi 110003. We'll meet you again next week with new informative stories on science, technology and innovation. Till then, stay tuned to Rajya Sabha TV and think scientifically. Bye-bye.